You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
Welcome. Today we're looking at some really key updates in cloud tech, developer tools, and how things are run efficiently. We want to pull out the essential insights for you from what's been happening lately.
Exactly. There's always so much noise. We're here to focus on what actually matters, from, those big service hiccups to the innovations really changing how we build and manage digital stuff.
Okay, speaking of hiccups, June 12th saw a couple of significant global outages. Let's start with Cloudflare. What happened there?
Yeah, that was interesting. Cloudflare had about a 2.5-hour outage, but the key thing, it wasn't their core network. It was a failure in some third-party storage backing their workers' KV service.
Workers KV, that's their key value store for edge functions, right?
Precisely. So services using that, like Warp and Workers AI, they felt the impact. But the core routing, security services, they stayed up. And crucially, no data loss.
Okay, so a dependency issue, but contained in a way. And then, the same day, Google Cloud had its own problems.
It did, yeah. But a pretty widespread one impacting lots of Google Cloud and Workspace services. This one stemmed from a faulty quota policy update.
A quota policy.
Yeah, basically a rule about resource usage. This buggy update caused a critical API management service called Service Control to get stuck in a crash loop.
Ouch. Service control sounds important.
It was fundamental. It manages API access and quotas across Google Cloud. So yeah, big impact. Most areas were back online within about 3 hours, and Google's promised architectural changes to prevent repeats.
Right. Really shows how complex and sometimes fragile these massive systems can be.
Absolutely.
But it's not all reactive, is it? There's proactive building, too, like AWS launching its European sovereign cloud. What's the significance there?
This is a really big deal. AWS is creating a cloud specifically for Europe. It's got its own EU-based governance, separate infrastructure, all operations run by people inside the EU.
And a huge investment behind it, too.
Yeah, $7.8 billion. It's basically AWS saying, okay, for certain regulations and data sovereignty needs, the standard public cloud model isn't enough. It's about deep compliance with EU law.
Interesting. A potential model for other regions or strict industries, maybe.
Could be. Definitely
Okay.
signals a shift. And talking about architecture, Netflix has been working on something called Unified Data Architecture, or UDA.
Right. They deal with immense amounts of data. How does UDA help?
So UDA is like a foundational layer for their content engineering. It lets teams define a data concept like movie or season just once. And that definition is used consistently across all their different systems.
So everyone's speaking the same language about the data.
Exactly that. Semantic interoperability, they call it. It powers automation, makes data easier to find, and just, well, reduces chaos when you're dealing with that much content information. It's about data sanity, really.
Okay, let's switch to efficiency. GitLab had this incredible story cutting repo backup times from 2 days down to like 40 minutes.
Yeah, amazing improvement. From 48 hours to 41 minutes. It turns out the bottleneck was this 15-year-old Git function deep inside the code.
Wow. What did they change?
They found these nested loops that were really inefficient for deduplication. They replaced that part with a much faster map-based approach. Less CPU, less memory, much more scalable.
And faster backups mean faster development cycles, I guess.
Absolutely. Faster iteration, testing, releasing. It's a direct boost to developer productivity.
Okay, a couple other quick updates before we hit AI. Amazon ECS.
Right. Amazon ECS users can now update capacity provider settings for existing services without disruption. So you can tweak your compute configuration on the fly. More flexibility, less hassle.
Nice. And DigitalOcean added some new hardware?
They did. They've rolled out AMD Instinct MI300X GPU droplets. So more powerful options now for customers running heavy AI or machine learning workloads on DO.
Good to have choices. Now, onto AI and observability. Amazon Q Developer is using something called the Model Context Protocol, MCP.
Yeah, so the Amazon Q Developer plugins, the ones for VS Code and JetBrains IDEs, they now support MCP. This lets developers connect external tools or context servers.
What does that mean in practice, like for the developer writing code?
It means the AI assistant, Q Developer, can get more context about your specific project, your code base, maybe external documentation, so the suggestions and answers it gives are, much more relevant and helpful. Context-aware AI.
Makes sense. And New Relic is involved with MCP too.
That's right. New Relic is supporting MCP within its AI monitoring. They've integrated it with their APM, their application performance monitoring.
So you can see the whole life cycle.
Exactly. You give visibility into how that MCP request flows through the system. Proper end-to-end observability for these AI applications, which is becoming super important as AI gets embedded everywhere.
Got it. And finally, Grafana Tempo. Version 2.8 is out.
Yep, Grafana Tempo 2.8 is released. Key things are new features in TraceQual, that's their query language for distributed tracing, and some performance boosts like compactor pooling.
Anything users need to watch out for?
Yeah, there's some breaking changes. They removed some older serverless features that were deprecated. So users should check the release notes before upgrading. Just shows how fast observability tools are evolving too.
So looking back at everything, we've seen themes of resilience against outages, big architectural shifts like sovereign clouds and unified data, and this constant push for more efficiency.
Yeah, definitely. These updates might seem separate, but they all paint a picture of this incredibly dynamic tech landscape. Understanding these shifts, how we handle failure, innovate architecture, optimize code, use AI, it's just crucial for anyone involved in building or even just using digital systems today.
Absolutely. Lots to think about there for your own work or just staying curious. Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to The Vocal Technologist. Tune in next time.